Hey everybody, welcome back to Face It TV. We're here with the last match for Group B for the GSL Egamingbets Cup, and we have GamePub and MYSTIK. They are actually knifing right now, and yeah, welcome to Face It TV, where we find out that in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, there's more than one map. It's Inferno! Way! Alright, so this is, of course, to decide who is going to be on what side. If you're new to CSGO or something, this might look a bit bizarre that we're running around with knives. But that's just the way it is. That's tradition. That's what tradition does to people. Turns them into knife-wielding maniacs. And actually, oh my god, GamePub actually didn't lose a single guy in the knife round. That's kind of embarrassing. MYSTIK need to practice their knife before they play any more tournaments. And it looks like they have opted to stay. And of course, that tends to be the way things go. It feels much more comfortable to start as CT, start as a defensive side on the majority of the maps. And this one is no different. So we have the pistol round coming in. And right here, GamePub and MYSTIK. All right, okay. Are we seeing... Okay, they're not live. Okay, they're calling for the restart. And here we go. There is the restart. I wonder why that was. Maybe because he bought... I mean, I'm not sold on the Tech 9. I mean, I don't know. Someone told me, because I'm a Quake player, like, it's just like a plasma gun. I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Anyway, GamePub and MYSTIK jumping into the pistol round now. Looking at the setup right here. And I do love Joe Ninja as a name. I'm just going to stick with that, even though I know that's not necessarily his real nick. But I love it, so I'm going to stick with it. I get to decide because I'm the commentator. We have Kenny Esto. He is pushed up Banana. And again, this is one of those situations where it's like, okay, what can we get? What can we get? Because GamePub, they feel forced to make the peek on Banana to actually find out what's happening there. Because if there's no one there, then that's actually space that they can move forward. That's information they can say, okay, like, no one's at Banana. And so the A guys can be like, all right, let's just prepare for something coming from apartments or maybe from mid. But actually, they did see a couple players on Banana, and that has actually resulted in, if you look at GamePub right now, they have rotated no one because they haven't got the information. They in fact floated the B floater around back towards Arch, and now he's finally coming back. And you can see here it is. So very wonderfully played from MYSTIK. They forced a bit of a rotation from Emmy. The smoke is there covering. Emmy's trying to spam through the smoke. Oh, wow, he finds a headshot somehow. And MYSTIK charging through construction. They're going to be able to take down both opponents. Now it's a 4-on-3. So the CT side pushed to a retake. It's going to be tough. Let's see how they do this. And GamePub, if they win this, they and MYSTIK will go through. If they lose this, it's going to be MYSTIK and Existana who go through. And here you go. Here comes the push through construction. It is a bit of a slugfest, but it seems to be that terrorists, MYSTIK, are taking the lead so far. It's a 2-on-1. Kingo lacking in bullets, lacking in health, lacking in any chance at all to take it down. So there you go. MYSTIK on the terrorist side, they will take the first pistol round. So it's time for anti-eco, ladies and gents. Anti-eco, it can be a little bit more difficult actually on the terrorist side here. Because, like, if we look at Nuke, we made the argument, okay, you play to the strengths of your weapons and against, the strengths of theirs. Strengths of theirs, close range, and so on. So it can actually be kind of hard because on this map there are actually choke points everywhere, all over the place. On the B bomb site, of course, you can see that there is that one choke point leading into the site. After that, it's not so bad. So here you go. They're actually going to go for that push through B. And this is often a very strong play as the anti-eco. So far, actually, one player getting dropped for MYSTIK as they make the approach. Kingo jumping headshot onto SF as well. So things aren't looking too bad. Emmy picked up a P90. Oh, look at YNK coming in from behind. 5-7. Beautiful play. Wow, the 5-7 is just so good. YNK. What a beast. What an absolute beast. 1-1. They win the eco round. And that is fantastic. So MYSTIK now, they've got to be thinking, right, okay, what just happened right there? It was all in the flank of YNK. 5-7, has to be, in my opinion, is basically the best pistol. It's just has the accuracy, has the one-shot potential at close range, as we saw. But you know, here we go back into the round. We can see the setup here. You got quite a spread. Quite a spread, the smoke covering mid, smoke coming banana. And again, there's no information at the moment for GamePub. There's no information at all. They have to basically just hold their positions. You can see Kingo's actually playing more defensively in the site here. And as we go back into the player perspective, Clan Mystic with their pistols managed to take control of Apartments. Again, Apartments not the best place to find your advantage if you're a rifler. You don't necessarily need to push in there, but what you do need is information. And at the moment, information is kind of what GamePub is lacking. So they're going to be a little bit slow to actually understand that this rotation, this attack is coming onto the B-bomb site. You can see this on the overview, on the mini-map. They still haven't moved a muscle, but Joe Ninja is just tapping them down, spraying them down with the AK-47. Here comes Emmy for the last kill. Eco frags, so delicious. And as we take a visit to the scoreboard, we can indeed see the respective scores of the players and how the money situation is. But there's not much to talk about money-wise at this point, of course. Right at the start, I mean, when it's right at the start, not much has happened at that point. So the money is it's quite predictable. Not much to talk about there. But we do have, of course, a lot of Galils coming in from Clan Mystic. This might not be expected. Here you go. Look at this. They're all creeping up, ready to be flashed. There goes the flash. Look at that. Beautiful flash coming in. They've rehearsed this. You can tell they've rehearsed this a lot. And they're straight up on in. And look at that. One in the corner there. But they do manage to catch that as well. So they broke open the lines. It's just Kingor who's standing the last defense, the last line of defense over at the A-bomb site. And what a defense it was, taking down 2 players. Kenny S left with the Galil there. He's going to want to get the bomb in the pit. And also that AK-47 would be valuable. And look at the throw there. He's got a good arm on him as he tosses the HE as well towards short. Catches Joe Ninja with a bit of damage there. Kenny S going to be holding down in pit. This is basically the most crucial position here. And look at this movement from Kenny S jumping into Graveyard. Going to spot the player. Does manage to burst him down. Looking for the second kill. And Kenny S is good for it. Manages to save the round there. But the defense was very nice in pit from GamePub, but it wasn't quite enough. And you got to say that rush was very nice. It was very simple. The beauty was its simplicity. We had the 4 players stacked up, all looking backwards, so they were ready for their teammate to launch a flash in, and they just rushed in on the flash. It basically worked perfectly. They got through the initial choke point and then generated that that momentum forwards, and that was enough. Because they forced the CTs to reposition as well, which allowed them to just charge on forward. So very, very well executed, and we can see the result of that. Here we go, Mystic, just taking a slower approach to the game at the moment. And here we have this 2-2 situation between the teams. And again, looking at money right now, okay, now it gets a bit more interesting. We have a situation where the team that loses this is screwed on money. Like completely money screwed. And GMX ready to toss a grenade there. Another smoke on mid might be useful soon. We can see YNK, he hasn't got a very aggressive angle here. He knows that he can't really get too close to the mid there because he hasn't seen exactly where they are. They could be really, really close for all he knows. It's too much of a risk for him to take. But here, look at this. The grenade sailing through the air, straight on into the B-bomb site. Here we go. Joe going to get put to the test. Good spray onto one player, but that's all he's going to get. It's not going to be enough. You need more than one frag on a rush like this. And here we go. Retake from Emmy, just gunning them down in the back. So much confusion, but Kenny S emerges from the smoke. That's the last man, or rather, actually has a comrade with him. So 2 players left for each side here. Kenny S. Oh, he gets spammed down through that smoke. He had the bomb. Perhaps it would have been wiser just to go for the plant, but there's no time for regret right now as Kiyoshima is put to the test, puts it to a 1-on-1. Looking for the frag. Oh my god, just before time. Oh, just after time rather. Kiyoshima, such a great effort, but the time was not on their side, unfortunately. That's always a very, very sad situation to see, especially as he hit the clutch in the 1-on-2, but that's how it goes. So here we have what looks like a pause, perhaps. So more pauses. Gotta love the pauses today. I think we're like an hour behind, but that's okay. That's okay. So I'm just gonna press tab here so we can just take a look at the scoreboard together. So 3-2 is the current score, and we have, of course, the money much more favorable for CT side. But one thing to remember as well is that CT buys are much more expensive than the terrorist buys, because the terrorists, okay, sure, they can't get away like the CTs can with just buying Kevlar, because this is the thing that you'll see a lot of teams do these days is they have the mentality that if the other team is just on AKs and AWPs, it's kind of pointless in some respects to have a helmet, because if you get hit in the head with an AWP or with an AK, you're going to die, helmet or no. So that is a little save that they can make as the CT side to try to even things up, because there is that disparity. You know, you have to buy the kit. You know, the weapons can be more expensive as well. The AK is, 2,700. It's much cheaper, and the cheapest, good rifle, the M4A1S, is 2,900. So they really have a much worse kind of situation on the expenses side. So cutting corners can be very effective against the Ts, and that can really make the situation very interesting. Of course, that's one of the dynamics of Counter-Strike that's interesting, because generally speaking, there is the concept, of course, of the defender's advantage. If you defend correctly, you're always going to have the good positions and the advantage then as people are running into your angles. It's much easier that way. But we have these little elements to the game that even things up to make it interesting. So that's one of the great things about Counter-Strike that everyone can love. But as I say that, I think we're no more the wiser as to actually what has caused the pause. I'm sure we can hazard a guess that it's likely a DDoS issue once again. That is likely to be the case, especially as we had previous to this match the Exostana match versus Clan Mystic, and Clan Mystic were getting just completely harassed. Like every single player was getting DDoS. So what we'll do then is we'll jump to a schedule, and we'll come back live when we have the information for you guys, and hopefully we can get this match started ASAP. Hey guys, welcome back. We're here. We have resumed play. You have not missed a single thing. And here we go. They are making a push up banana here. Very slow. Very slow. The grenade in the hand there. Look at this. Look at this SF with that deagle in his hand. The deagle in his hand is promise of such great things. Great things to be achieved. Here they go, charging into the side. Look at the Molotov. Perfectly placed. That's so, oh my god, look at this. It's so good from GamePub right now. MYSTIK, a couple players getting dropped there, but actually they are going to be able to take control of the bomb site. And YNK is going to come in last minute. He will go down. Nino coming in from behind though with the Pharos. Oh, they're almost lining up there. They can't quite see the angle through that fountain. Nino over at Paul. Here comes SF. Looking for the heady. Does find a double. Beautiful play coming in from MYSTIK. Very nice take of the site. Very simple rush. Executed well. And the thing is that surprises me the most is the Molotov really stopped their momentum massively, jumping into the site. It was perfectly placed. That Molotov was beautiful. There was no mistake there. So the problem was elsewhere, that they weren't able to position correctly behind the Molotov. As you know, we had one very close range right next to the Molotov. He's going to get, destroyed basically. That position's not very good. I think he would have liked to be a bit further back, but it's really hard because you need that player close. But here they go. They are making a move towards the mid area, taking down a couple players around mid on Arch, but it's just the pistols from GamePub, so it's not really that surprising. It's pretty standard stuff here. Kiyoshima just, trying to target down Emmy there. Where's Joe Ninja though? Let's just check out Joe Ninja. Nico. What is Nico able to do with this? P2000. Not so much, it seems. Alright, so moving into the next round now. Oh, very cheeky, getting an extra 300 on him. 300 bucks from that bomb plant. Very cheeky indeed. So 4-3 now the score. And again, this is the GSL Egamingbets Cup, and this is the last match for Group B today. Again, if GamePub win this, then GamePub and MYSTIK go through. But if GamePub lose, then MYSTIK and Astana go through. So GamePub are playing for their spot. MYSTIK cannot be removed from their spot. But look at this action going on a banana. Actually, GamePub decided to get aggressive there against the rifles. And this is a really nice proactive strategy. Got worse weapons, but they are trying to take control of the map. You can see Kingle there holding down the bedroom. Look at this, shutting down apartments. YNK last man left standing there, but he's going to be able to get it, shooting down the chicken in the process. Well, at least he has something to eat next round. There are so many chickens on this map. It's actually very surprising how many chickens there are, and that no one has done anything about it. Oh, a negligence there. Anyway, 4-4 the score. I don't want to see any more chickens going into harm's way, but that is Counter-Strike, it seems. Look at them scurrying around there, afraid for their lives. So we have this effort on mid, this effort on banana, but there's no push-up banana. We don't have, let's say, the Freiberg or something, a MYSTIK, moving up banana, trying to just lock it down. And GamePub, they aren't even trying to poke it. They aren't even trying to push down banana to try to see if they can find anything out. They are just holding right now. They have no information at all. And this push could be huge from MYSTIK, but YNK does chop down one player. But there is a trade, and this is much better for MYSTIK, who are all four together now. But Kingle is going to be able to take down GMX in the back here. Kiyoshima is trying to make way through short onto the bomb site, and here he goes. He is managing to do just that. Can he catch Nino, though? Nino's going to be taken down. Emmy is doing well also, keeping control of the situation, keeping it to an equal count on the men here, 2-2, but they do get the bomb down. That's very important there. Putting the clock on the CTs now as it goes to a 1-on-1. Kiyoshima, can he execute? And he will, taking down Nico. So very well played from MYSTIK. The problem there, I think, was that GamePub, didn't poke on banana, and there are definitely ways to do it. You can get your teammate to flash you in, and all it is just a very, very quick poke. You just want to get to the car position, because once you're there, you can see more or less everything on banana. You can basically tell from that position what's like. You can see if there's like a player or two, and that will tell you everything. That will tell you enough to know what's happening, and that really would tell you to say, okay, let's hold positions. But there, they had no information on banana, and of course there was no one on banana from Clan Mystic. So of course they're going to be doing something towards A. That's just kind of how the game works. And that was really the failing of GamePub, just no information. And this round, of course, they're on pistols. And a grenade or two is going to really help out. Kenny S taking down Nico. And they are just going to slowly move in. And again, banana does tend to be a great option for the rifles, because there's much less in the way to consider variable-wise. You've got to get through this choke point, and then you can kind of control the situation. Your rifles are going to perform very well. A lot of mid-ranges to work with. Not many angles to be concerned with. Just got to look left and look right, and you're pretty much good to go. And so you can see they execute that again. We've seen this a couple of times now. Taking the anti-eco with the rifles towards banana does prove quite effective in the way that they execute it. So Nino and King are left with the pistols, and not really much for them to do, of course. They would love to get exit frags if they could engineer somehow to find an exit frag or two, and that's kind of what Kingo's positioned to do at the moment. Of course, he's got a 5.7, so 5.7 is great on mid-range as well. If you get 2 accurate shots on the head, boom, they're going to die. 1 close-range shot, they're going to die, but it's GMX to take him down. So, 6-4 now. Clan Mystic having a whale of a time. But now they are very, very aware, painfully aware, that it's going to be a buy round for GamePub. So very interested to see if they're going to start working these mid strategies, because we've actually seen these, actually a couple mid strategies work out very well for them. Their execution there is good. They may smell weakness on mid against GamePub, so that could be something we're going to see. But also, they're so defensive on B that that they may even be able to force early rotations from the floater on B. And that's actually what's happening right now as they creep 2 players up to B. Their floater is moving towards A, actually, leaving Nico, I believe, as the sole man over there. And Nico's going to get taken down one-on-one. Kiyoshima going for a risk. It pays off massively. Now Emmy's forced to go back as the 2 players are there. The bomb gets grabbed. Clan Mystic going to make the call to what to do with this bomb, and they're going to take it towards banana. This is going to be very interesting right now, because it's a 3-on-4 situation with the CTs. Oh, look at SF's position right there. SF wants some sneaky action here. Going to go all thief mode. And he's going to find himself YNK, who is more than ready for that, it appeared. But the bomb does go down. We've got Hearts and Kiyoshima who are there ready to try and defend it. And you can see King here with his teammates. They are synchronizing well for the retake. This should be easy. This, in theory, should be easy, but Kiyoshima has something else to say about it. But he does get taken down. Only taking down 1 player. 3 men to deal with. Hearts, though, unable. And that's going to be the defuse there. Coming in from GamePub. So 5-6 then. And very interesting round, actually. They made the play off of the back of Kiyoshima's pick on the one-on-one situation over at B. But when you look at it from our perspective, as we can see everything, the rotation time kind of was a bit too much, because GamePub realized that, okay, we lost a man on B. We have to at least put 1 or 2 men over there pretty quick, at least 1. And the 1 did actually see some movement. So they're going to start to rotate pretty quickly. And the rotation for Clan Mystic to go and pick up the bomb and get to B, already they're in a situation where they can't get a post-plant set up. They can't really get favorable odds in the fights. It's going to be even at best on the fights. So it ended up not working out so well for them. But look at this, YNK is going to be pushing apartments. We don't see this super often. Okay, he is actually going to back away then. He's not going to get too aggressive. But we do have Clan Mystic maybe thinking more about working mid. But again, I do want to just comment about how passive we're seeing GamePub on banana so far. It could be something that can be abused from Clan Mystic. And we have 2 players in pit as well, so they are mixing up the setup massively. They are playing very defensively. Very defensively. The problem with this is that if they do hard and fast rush, which is really more or less the counter to this play, onto B, then the rotation time is huge. So GamePub, Emmy, and Nico, they have to hold on They have to delay a very long time to make this work. And here comes SF, last player, to try and jump on in there. And Hearts has found himself in construction, but there's Nico ready and waiting. Doesn't manage to take him down though. And look at this, Hearts in a good position over construction, but not good enough. Emmy's there in the bomb site to take Hearts down. YNK is going to circle around from construction to just try to tap down a couple players, but it's going to be GamePub that do secure the defense in the end. And it does feel like this really passive defensive style is actually kind of messing with Clan Mystic a bit, because so far the only really truly successful rounds we've seen for them that you can look at it and say, okay, this is their strategy. They executed their strategy that they've practiced before, and it's kind of working. It's hard for GamePub to find an answer. That's been mid. That has been mid. We've seen 2 variations of a mid push. We haven't seen much movement through apartments either, so they haven't really tested apartments thoroughly. And the interesting thing is that if they do actually try to do that, often, King have actually been playing from the pit. So they've been having such defensive positioning, they can just take apartments in many situations. So really interesting the playstyle of the GamePub. We can see right now that with the pistols, they're just playing it, somewhat optimally at this point, just keeping the ranges medium to long and trying to get the info. Because grenades also very, very potent as to deal with these pistols. So if you have the info on where the movement is coming from, the grenades help massively. And look at this, Kingor's going to find himself flush with a lot of eco frags. Here comes the third, gets a triple, beautiful from Kingor. Very ABC from GamePub there to take the 7th round. 7-6, the score between these two teams, and things are going according to plan right now for GamePub, but they are going to find themselves in against Clan Mystic, who now, again, from what I've been saying, from what I've seen at least, from what from my opinion, I should really hope that they make some more kind of play on mid, some more kinds of plays on mid rather. We're seeing that, it seems. We're seeing a lot of players accumulating now over at second mid and mid, so we might just see something like that. GamePub, they are actually, for the first time in I don't know how long, trying to push one guy down banana. Kenny S going to decapitate YNK with the AK-47. This is going to put some pressure now. I mean, Hearts is really watching for that banana guy, and he's actually even playing it still very slow. Here comes FSEP, going to find himself one player, going to get taken down by Kingor. So the situation is getting really chaotic. They can't gain ground. They're still stuck in mid. It's still just now Hearts in a 1-on-2. And here we go. He's on short here. He's got flash though. He's got to hold his position slightly, but this shouldn't be too bad for him. He's got 40 seconds. And let's not forget, he can just go to the other side if he wants to. Or he can just hold and wait till the last moment and go for the defuse / kill and defuse. And Kingor's going to plant himself in the site. You can see, look at this. They're not falling for it. They're not falling for it. But actually, is he going to go now? Oh my god, he's actually going to go now. This is going to be very close. They realize it, though. They actually heard him, I think. And this is going to be very interesting to see if he can actually pull this off. He's got the smoke. Timing should work out there. He's going to have to go for the plant straight away, but here is going to... Oh, is this going to work? He's going for the plant. Needs to get the plant. Can't do it, though. Going to try to go for the frag instead, but he just loses the gun. Very hard situation. Left himself without enough time. It's very difficult to play those spots. I think GamePub, you got to say that they played it very well. They held it. They held their positions. They could have split up. But again, it can be very, very difficult. It's more or less a bit of a coin toss, whether or not. I think it was Kingor who's in the site, and his teammate. It's a coin toss whether his teammate just goes straight to banana or whether he stays with his friends, so that if there is A, then boom, it's no problem, and if it's B, it's still it still can be okay for a retake. But you stay together, so that's one of the pluses there. So we've got a lot of exchanges of frags coming in here as they make finally their attempt through apartments. They managed to push themselves all the way onto the A bomb site. You can see Hearts, looking at the back here. They're going to be able to get the plant very soon. SF taking down players here, and look at this. Hearts has a great position, gonna come on to Nino there, and Kenny S got to be careful to survive, and he will do just that. Hearts is there in time. So 8-7 first half. Okay half from GamePub and GamePub, and definitely Clan Mystic. They're not going to be feeling too bad about it. So I'm very curious about how GamePub will play T. Again, it's so interesting to see what teams pick up on, because there's always something to pick up on. And we do get the overview, so we get the perfect information all the time. So our ability to spot trends in play is accelerated because of that. We can see things with much more consistency and much easier. So that is another reason why in-game leaders are so important, because it is actually like making the call is much better to have that guy than to have the 5 all-stars, because if the 5 all-stars have no idea where to go, okay, they will get some rounds here and there off of the basics. But top-level Counter-Strike is about reading the other team and reading the situation, making calls very quickly, and that's what it is. So here we have the pistol round now. Let's see how this goes. It's like the scoreboard is actually being reset. I think it was 8-7 to write that down in favor of GamePub. So 8-7, just writing that down in case I forget it in the future. The scoreboard's a little bit flimsy in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Sometimes they're flipped around, sometimes they forget what's going on. But this pistol round is going to go to Clan MYSTIK, taking it down. And there you go. So Clan MYSTIK going to grab that pistol round. And so the scoreboard is not only reset, but also flipped around. So really trying to confuse me. And I've been casting for a while now, so that's very easy to do. So I'm going to try and stay on point. So I'm going to move into the next round here, Clan MYSTIK, with those, with the anti-eco. And of course, it's going to be, a lot different to playing anti-eco on Ts, which we saw from them very effectively. And look, they're getting aggressive actually with the rifles. This is very, very nice play from them. And look how fast that round was. And actually, there is a huge argument to do that. I mean, the argument for that is, again, like, if you manage to actually fight against all those pistols, those are actually a lot of really good mid-range choke points. That's what they just dealt with. Mid-range choke points, rifles versus pistols. Okay, the rifles should win. Not only rifles, but they have the knowledge that they're making that play, so they can get the nades to back it up as well. So that is a really strong way to play it. Of course, it's not the guaranteed way that people would prefer necessarily to take, let's say, being more defensive. But it is great to see that kind of stuff. I think there's a lot of value there. And right now we have, of course, big movement coming from the GamePub, Serbians with a Bosnian and a Macedonian. Through onto the apartments. Kyoshima, he's ready to get those frags of those weapons. And they're all coming through apartments. Not the most common strategy we see. 2 players, FYNK and Nino, looking to try and get something done, but they just get shut down. And I'm quite surprised that their first buy round strategy as T is just a flat-out rush through apartments. No great support with grenades. I mean, it just seemed a little bit odd, and of course, it was dealt with so easily. And I think that really lends not to necessarily the execution of Clan MYSTIK, but more or less to the strategy not being so strong. But Kyoshima going through the balcony, just picking players off left and right. For a repeat now, on mid, he's going to try to get himself more frags, as well as a pickup on the AK. Kyoshima, he is making those kills. And he's trying to take some pot shots. Not much to be done right there, though. So 4 rounds for Clan MYSTIK now, which brings them to an 11 score to the 8 of GamePub. So Clan MYSTIK, they are doing quite well now. Of course, winning the pistol round, going up quite a few rounds. The buy round was so curious to me, though. But let's see what happens now from GamePub. What are they going to go for this time? I would really like to see something like either a mid fake to B, something standard like that, or just spread out across the entire map, try to take over apartments, take over banana, then decide. Try to see if there's a pick and then decide. That is the most common thing that we often see on Inferno. And it makes a lot of sense. As terrorists, you do get actually quite a lot of an advantage, rather, at least taking over banana. I think it's easier for the terrorists to do that. And with with the terrorists moving into apartments. That's the difficult part. But if you can take apartments and banana, you deny so much info from the CTs that it's very difficult for them to defend. But here we go. They're deciding to go for a B. Loving this right now. They got a flanker over on the other side of the map to catch the guys rotating from A. But here they are marching on in. There is a trade, but they have gained the ground onto the site. And one of the players on B is actually just waiting in construction for his teammates to rotate now. And Emmy's spamming through the smoke. It's got a good position, but they're a man down. They do have the bomb, though, on the grill, on the little barbecue, whatever it is. And Kenny S going for the flick shots here. Oh, my God. Nino just takes Kenny S down. Big loss for them. Great crossfire coming in with Emmy and with YNK. Beautiful stuff. Taking down the last man. That was a wonderfully executed round. Stupendous stuff coming from the Serbian team. GamePub, beautiful. Putting themselves on the board with a very well executed push onto B. They got the man into Boiler. I believe it was Boiler, or either Boiler or mid. And that's the very standard way to execute something like that. You get a guy who can cause all kinds of damage on the CTs who are rushing in a very kind of panic state towards B. And GamePub, can they keep this going? I mean, now it's 11-9. So, GamePub, coming back in this, look at this stack. Love it. I saw this a lot more in 1.6, actually, stacks like that. But it seems like they're trying to make it work as well. So the bomb is traversing slowly up Banana at the moment, as we have Hearts going to be dropping the smoke over at B. And you can see that he waited for a very long time there, because it's one of those situations where you want to use the smoke, but you want to use it at the last possible moment. And that's kind of what he just succeeded in doing, because his teammate still has another smoke, I believe, so he can re-smoke it. And there it is. There comes the re-smoke. And that's killed so much time there. And they don't know that the movement's coming up Banana or not. But what they are assuring is that time is leaving the clock here, and options are getting limited. There come a couple of flashes there, but looks like that's when teammates are going to move up. 3 men, 1 through apartments and 2 through short, and that's a great combined effort there. You can see that Hearts is like, he realizes, okay, it's a fake now, but they still left 1 player there. He might get some frags. Here comes Nico trying to get some kills, but they are locking it down. Very good smokes on Pit, but not quite good enough. Here goes Kiyashima, denying entry to Graveyard, moving back onto the site. Nothing to do for YNK, and now it's just 1 man less standing. Emmy, he's not going to be there in time, or will he be? Looking for the frag, but cannot get it. There you go, another round going to Clan Mystic. Well executed defense there. I love how that round went for both teams, because GamePub were trying to keep their options alive for a long time in Banana, but again, the timing with the smokes worked out really, really well to basically prevent anything from happening there. So they decided to go, okay, let's try to make this a fake, and in that kind of like flurry of information on comms to Clan Mystic, we're gonna try to push 3 men, 1 through apartments and 2 through short, to make a combined effort to try to secure the site and Pit instantly. And that's a really nice way to play it. But the defense was great from Clan Mystic to really take it back. But from both sides, I really think that it was well played. And so 5-1 in the second half for Clan Mystic, and so that means a score of 12-9 for Clan Mystic right now. And here we go. We have King watching the apartments, and slowly they are making their way up. It looks like they're going to fall back a bit towards Banana, and they don't have any presence on Banana just yet. So what actually they're aiming to do here? And Nika gets caught, and they have a player in Boiler as well, Kingor, who goes down too. But what was it all for? Where did they gain the ground? What was the play there? I don't know, but GMX is locking him down short. But actually, no, Nino does take him out, but he does have the support of Kiyoshima, though, over at the Pit area, locking down apartments and Pit. Kiyoshima stopping GamePub from making any movement at all. And that round, I don't know. They managed to get themselves a little bit up mid. They pushed Clan Mystic back a little bit before any frags actually happened. But then they decided, okay, let's move backwards a little bit. And then, I don't know, there was indecision there. It seemed like they hesitated. They realized maybe at the last moment that they didn't have any info on Banana or even a player up there. So it seems like a very shaky round from GamePub. They're going to have to step it up now, because Clan Mystic is starting to run away with this. Clan Mystic, of course, now on a 13-9 scoreline. And GMX going to take down Nico there straight away. And Kiyoshima going to chime in with one as well, getting the bomb. And he can just let his teammates rotate now. And they're going to clean up the rest as that bomb lies there helplessly. I always found it interesting that, of course it would break the game, but I always found it interesting that CTs can, can't just take the bomb and just throw it somewhere. I mean, come on. Either way. I don't know. It looks like we're looking at a 7-1 scoreline, and Clan Mystic is starting to run away with this. We have another buy coming in from GamePub, but again, if they don't get a plant here and some kills, they are going to have to eco again. If they eco again, that's going to be, let's say, like 9-1 then, and that's going to be a 14-9 scoreline. So things are getting increasingly bad. I love the flash play there, the pop flash for GMX, but now the risk, it didn't pay off. Only a trade for one, and Kiyoshima has to defend quad now, doing really, really well so far. Takes down one player. Kiyoshima has done so well. Runs into Nino over at Boiler, and now things are getting very complicated. It's a 2-on-3 in favor of our CT Clan Mystic side. The French players, King, are going to make it down to a 2-on-2, downsizing them even more. Kenny S gets dropped also at 2-on-1 situation. Hearts, can he do this? Looking for the frags here. They're very weak. He's flashed though. Okay, the flash is gone, and there they scuttle away together. They know that they can make a combined effort onto the banana site, the B site rather. But B does stand for banana, but here goes Hearts, making the rotation onto banana. Look at that smoke, going for just tapping away. And actually, ammunition is always a concern there with the M41S. So you can see they only got 25 bullets, enough for this situation, but this could get bad. Let's see how he handles this. Is there anyone in the site? He's got to check it. He just doesn't know. This is very smart positioning from GamePub here. And look, he's got to know. He knows where they are now. He's eliminated it, but it still doesn't make it any better. Still, these angles are just horrendous to deal with. So excellent play from GamePub post-plant. So 7-2 now, GamePub, bringing it back. Very important round for them to pick up, as I stated. Looks like we are without a player on the server. So there is a pause. Right, there's a pause. All right, well, there had to be a pause at some point. We see YNK joining, actually, and then disconnecting. Okay. Either way, so it's a 7-2 scoreline right now in favor of Clan Mystic, who are 14 rounds to the 10 of GamePub. Of course, this is the second half. The scoreboard got reset, so that is why I'm having to do math. And everyone knows casters aren't good at math. That is like a universal law, or a law of the universe, even. Casters cannot do numbers. Either way, looks like they are readying up, so we should be back in the game momentarily here for the GSL Egamingbets Cup, not to be confused with the GOM Star League. Of course, it would be awesome, though, if the GOM Star League were like, all right, it's CS time. Let's StarCraft stuff's a bit boring. It's a bit last month. Let's go some CS. That would be great. I'd love to hear Koreans commentating CSGO, actually. I think that would be a wonderful experience. But either way, 7-2 again. 14-10, that makes it, I believe. So it is running away from GamePub. Just 2 more rounds for Clan Mystic and opening it up very strong, dropping Kingor straight away. And that is problematic because now they have to make a play. Oh, okay, evening it up. So GMX had no reason really to be at balcony there. I mean, Kingor just pushed up for a frag, got it, and then Kingor got, wanted a frag as well, maybe. I don't know, but evening things up. Here goes the push into the B bomb site from GamePub. They're going to be able to plant this without a problem. The smoke's providing excellent cover for their plant attempt, and the site was almost empty, but it's great not to lose any men. And they're going to play for the retake here. Look at the position, boosted up on the tree. Amazing from SF. Oh, and he gets a second as well. Nico gets dropped there. And here they come, 3. The cavalry has arrived from construction, moving all the way through, just all over the bomb site. It's just Nino left, and Kiyoshima has something to say. He's like, sit down, Nino. Your time is done. And here goes the defuse, and check it out. Here go the scores. Of course, GMX and Kiyoshima, they have been fragging their minds out in this game so far. And that's going to mean that we're moving into a situation where we have 15 rounds now for Clan Mystic. So Clan Mystic, they only need to win one more round, and they have won this one against GamePub. And that's going to mean that it's going to be MYSTIK, Clan MYSTIK and Exostana who join NIP and Kick for the playoffs tomorrow that begin at 6 CET on Faceit TV. And here you go. Look at this. Look at this action. Oh my God. GamePub. Emmy going nuts here, just gunning him down. And that was a very risky play. And it's very sad to see that the first time they take a very risky move altogether down the banana, it actually doesn't pay off. Because you want the cute, awesome little strategies to pay off, but it just didn't that time. But here we have Hearts sitting on Arch, and they are at 3-on-5 right now. And Hearts is going to find himself a frag, so that's very, very positive. But looks like Nico's able to make the trade, evening things up a little bit. 4-2 now. Kenny S. If there was a man I would trust with the clutch and with an AWP in his hands, it's Kenny S. He has got very good help. Kyoshima, look at that. Kyoshima, very precise. Does grab a kill onto Kingo. And the bomb does get planted over on B. So this is a situation where they are going to be thinking about a save. I mean, they can let this round go to GamePub. GamePub will only be on 11 right now. So, but let's look at the money here. I mean, all right, I think, yeah, I mean, they're going to go for it, it seems like. They're creeping up the site, or at least get some exit frags. Try to do some kind of damage. Oh my God, didn't see that coming. Oh dear, that is just awesome. They're going to back away now and just let GamePub just reel in disgust at that AWP shot, because that was beautiful. The boost on the logs. No, I think, yeah, actually, the boost on the logs is always a classic. The jumping scout headshot from that position is always fun as well, like not requiring the boost. Love seeing the jumping scout headshots. But here we go, GamePub. Of course, in such a great spot. One more round, as I said, to make this their victory. So, GamePub. Things are looking very bad for you indeed. Gonna move 3 men up a second mid. We've got Kenny S doing his usual shenanigans. I think that was a very quick play into Boiler, up to balcony, and the boom, flick shot out of the balcony to get the frag. And now we have Hearts going aggressive. Great little flash from his teammate. That was just beautiful. That is how you do it. That is absolutely how you do it. Here comes a grenade. He's a bit mad. He's going to throw in a grenade. Doesn't do too much damage to Hearts, though, as he is armored up. So he's going to throw in now the smoke. So the damage has been done by Clan MYSTIK. They have set themselves up now for the victory here against GamePub, which will eliminate GamePub, and it will mean that they won't go to the playoffs. And here goes Clan MYSTIK. SF. Oh, he gets completely destroyed. Kingo is the man to thank for that. Here goes Kenny S, though. There goes the pre-flash in the site. They charge. Here they go. And it's looking good. It's a 2-on-1. Kingo now going to go down to the USPS. And GG's all around. It's going to be Clan MYSTIK who are victorious here. And that's a wonderful thing to see. They played well. The better team won, I think. GamePub, good performances, but we really saw some delightful plays coming in from their opponents as well. So, yeah, from their opponents, Clan MYSTIK. Sorry, you've got to bear with me. It's very late over here in Milan. But we've come to the end of the Group B play today, and we have Clan MYSTIK and Exostana who will go through, and they will join Exostana and NIP and Kick even. There you go. Tomorrow for the playoffs. That's 6 CET, so set your alarms. And good night, guys. It's been a long one. We had a lot of pauses, but we'll see you tomorrow.